he's stuck on 96.
I feel bad for him, yes.
We can adjust the agenda.
Yeah, have him.
Yes,
We'll just
we
flip
can
them to
move
last.
to
Do
the
it during the approval of the agenda. Yeah.
So, without further ado, we'll get the meeting started.
Well, he's stuck on 96
He said he's not gonna make it
at all, right?
at all.
So, yeah,
Oh,
so just take it off.
okay.
We'll
We call
reschedule.
in, or I guess, yeah, if he wants to reschedule.
We'll reschedule. I'd rather talk to him in person so I can pick on him.
Sure. All right, let's just remove that from the agenda then. We'll call this meeting to order at 9:43. Nobody tell the chair that we're starting this late. And clerk, would you please call the roll?
Sure. Commissioner Joliet,
Here.
Jackson,
Here.
Lubes,
Here.
Nelson,
Here.
Hoffman is absent with notice, Spiz,
Present.
Gershenson,
Here.
is ex officio, and McGillivray is absent with notice, Johnson.
Present.
Mr. Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Everyone please rise for the pledge of allegiance. Commissioner Spitz, would you kindly lead us?
Of course.
Is this?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Minutes are listed under item 4. So I have a motion to approve the minutes moved by Commissioner Spitz, seconded by Commissioner Lubes. Can I do it all in favor? Say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nay. Ayes have that one unanimously. Moving on to communications, I'll need a motion to receive and file. I'm sorry, approve the agenda as voice amended. To remove item A. Can I, yes,
I'll
right?
support the
Okay, cool. Second, Commissioner Spiz supported as amended, Commissioner Lubes seconded as amended. All in favor of approving the agenda as amended? Aye.
Aye.
Nay? Ayes have that one unanimously. Agenda has been approved. Public comment number 1. Anyone from the public wishing to address us on any matters on the agenda, please come forward now. Nope, all right, well, it's good to have all of you. Moving into item 7, communications. I really did skip ahead quite a bit there. I'll need a motion to receive and file number A, I guess, appointments third quarter report. Through C, oh, all in one fell swoop, sweet. Motion, Commissioner Lubes, second by Commissioner Spitz. All those in favor of receiving and filing A through C, say oh, good, all right, we'll prompt that one. Thank you.
And Jackson,
Aye.
Mr. Chair, you have 7 yeas, 0 nays.
Awesome, thank you, everyone. Okay, moving on to the regular agenda. It's actually item A, but on our screens it's listed as item B. It is a presentation.
No, A was the legislative update.
Oh, right, so
We
this
took
is
off.
recommending to the board.
Yeah.
Motion to recommend to the board. Thank you for being very prompt today. Frederick and Heidi.
Who moved?
Oh,
I did.
Commissioner Spitz, sorry,
Okay.
seconded by Commissioner Lubes. My trustee steeds today. Hello.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Fred Miller, Deputy County Clerk, Register of Deeds. Greetings on behalf of our County Clerk, Lisa Brown. So this was a grant that you all approved last month or the month before. It's a scale grant for $40,000 to enhance our capacity at what we call our E-Services Center, which is a legal, by the scale's definition, a legal self-help center. So it's right down the corridor as you go down to our main clerk's office, past the security. And it has 8 computer stations and some friendly staff there to help people do research or to help them walk that line between, we can't give legal advice, but to provide legal information about how they can e-file and do research and things like that. This is a grant to enhance our capacity there. We initially contemplated it as, so the grant is a partnership with Oakland University Paralegal Certificate Program, who are providing students to be there and help people who are representing themselves and other walk-in customers. We had initially contemplated them as contractors, but after we went through the process and started to put it all together at the advice of Corporation Counsel and HR, it's too cumbersome to have them be personal service contractors. So we're going through the process to establish these student intern programs. No budget change from the grant that you approved. We've talked with Scale, they're okay with our change this way. And I hope that we'll be able to have students in there starting July 31st.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Christensen.
So I love this program, I love intern programs. However, is it a specific intern with background that you're looking for? Are you confident that they're gonna be able to satisfactorily advise people how to use the equipment, or I'm sure they're not gonna advise on any legal issues, but what kind of background are you looking for with the interns?
Sure, so to answer your question, the short answer is yes, we're confident. So these are students who are the paralegal certificate program at OU.
I'm sorry,
Which
I
is
missed that, yeah.
which is the one that we're partnering with now. It's open to anybody, but they're in the second year of a 2-year program that does kind of basic legal education. It's a very fine line you walk, and our staff walks it every day between being able to give people the tools they need to help themselves and give legal advice, which we're not allowed to do. And Scale does offer some online trainings that we're gonna put the students through as well.
Thank you, I apologize I missed that, but yep, makes sense.
Questions, comments, concerns? Yes.
As Commissioner Gershon said, I am in full agreement. I'm in 100% support of any intern programs, co-op programs. Big fan of those programs. Help educate our younger community to get prepared to get into the real world. So I think this is a great program. I fully support it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just want to say that I've been there and used the services. I've had constituents complain about court proceedings and unfair sentencing in a trial, and I was able to go and really look at the documents in detail to see how the point system was used for sentencing, and it gave me a better understanding of what was being relayed to me by my constituent, and I was able to speak to them more clearer about what exactly was going on. So it's really a good service that we offer. A lot of times people that are incarcerated will try to get the same type of information from law libraries and things like this. So it's good to have it in a computerized system for people that are on the outside, to help with people that are maybe dealing with a case. So this is really a good program. I'm glad we have interns coming. Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? I'll just say I appreciate this. I know that we were pretty enthusiastic about getting the grant in the first place. We got the grant, happy about that, and then this just cleaning up the HR front, some reclassification. I think that I agree with Corp Counsel, not that my opinion matters much, but I think that interns are better than student contractors too, so this is good. Cool, there is a motion on the table. Clerk, would you please prompt the vote with that one?
What's your phone number?
My desk number.
Jackson?
Janet?
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 7 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you very much, that passes.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Moving on to listed item C, actual item B. I don't need a motion to begin this discussion. Is there? Just open it up for let's just open it up for discussion. And I don't have anyone who is talking to us about this. Amy, do you want to? Sure, yeah, if you want. Yeah, just reappointment. You're probably better than I am at this. It's reappointments that Amy will go over with us.
So we've got 2 appointments that are expiring soon for the Oakland County Land Bank Authority. They were originally started with staggered terms. So these were the 2 individuals that had a 1-year term. This would be for a new 3-year term. It is Jeffrey Campbell and I think Martin Manna.
Yep.
Yeah. They're both interested in reappointment. I did also reach out to the treasurer's office to confirm that they've been attending meetings and performing their duties as expected, and they reported back that they have, and they would be happy to see these 2 individuals reappointed.
Yes, Commissioner Christensen.
So I would like to get an update on what they're doing at the next meeting. You know, maybe from the treasurer or whoever is the person in charge, but I'd like to know.
Okay, personally, I know Amy did reach out to the treasurer and he gave, I'm going to use the word glowing, but
Well,
complimentary.
not specifically on them, but what the land bank is doing.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
And I would
yeah.
agree, I would agree.
Yeah, I think we had asked for that. I don't know how long they've been, would they been 6 months? Is
I
that?
believe they're required to provide an annual report. I can double check and follow up and we can get something scheduled with them.
Yeah, I'd like to.
For sure. So the action that we can take is moving to reappoint them. We can do that right now, or we can do that later, whatever you all would like to do, but any other discussion?
No, I move to recommend reappointment.
Awesome, moved by Commissioner Smith, seconded by Commissioner Lubes. All in favor, oh, actually, would you just prompt that one? No,
Okay, so
Thank you.
Commissioner Spiz and
Lubes.
Lubes, okay. To reappoint the incumbents. Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 7 yeas, 7 nays.
Awesome, thanks everyone. The final item on our regular agenda is listed as item D. It's actually item C. I would take a motion to recommend to the board the resolution from our colleague Commissioner Nelson to support the Medicaid Reentry Act and the Due Process Continuity of Care Act to allow continuous Medicaid coverage for pretrial detainees in local jails. Moved by Commissioner Nelson, seconded by Commissioner Juliana. Commissioner, would you like to talk?
Absolutely. So this is a non-binding resolution that supports the federal bipartisan bill to amend the Medicaid inmate exclusion policy. Currently, this policy denies Medicaid coverage to incarcerated individuals. The moment an individual is booked into jail, here in Michigan, their federal medical is suspended. In other states, it's terminated, so here in Michigan, it's suspended. And one of the most important components to this is not only does this amendment ensure that pretrial individuals still get to have and remain covered under their medical benefits, Medicaid benefits. This also provides $50 million in planning grants to assist local jails in the implementation. I did reach out to Under Sheriff Childs and just had a discussion on, I wanted to gain more insight on, really I had no idea that individuals lose their Medicaid benefits once upon being booked. And so it opened up a conversation of what happens when an inmate is sick? What if we know that there's a large percentage of incarcerated individuals who suffer from mental health difficulties. And so one of the things I learned through that conversation is that it is at the expense of the taxpayers. I also learned local taxpayers. I also learned in the conversation with Under Sheriff Childs that with the national responsibilities that Sheriff Bouchard partakes in is a part of, he was a part of this conversation at the federal level in regards to looking at amending this policy. And just as a little background information, this all goes back to the, let's see, this is the Social Security Act from 1965. So when we think about 1965, we're in 2023. It's time to start taking a look at amending old language that really doesn't encompass the struggles and the issues that we're facing today. So as I said, essentially this is just a non-binding resolution that states that Oakland County supports the Medicaid Reentry Act and the Due Process Continuity of Care.
Appreciate it. Any other questions or comments about the resolution? No? Yes, Commissioner Jackson.
For those incarcerated individuals, the aren't under Medicaid or maybe private insurance at the time of jailing, what covers them? Isn't there a certain group that covers our medical care for our folks in the county jail? I forget the name of the company. And then also, the reason why I bring that up is because I knew individuals that had a service that were auditing institutions to see how many people we were covering that could have been covered under their private insurance during incarceration, and kind of looking back and looking at adjustments for monies that, you know, the taxpayers have had to, you know, be responsible for versus their private insurance. So where does this leave that? I mean, and I think it's something that maybe Childs or Bouchard could answer, but at the same time, it's something we need to look at, because I don't know if we audit those folks that have been covered or will be covered under this to see if there's any duplication of services that we might be able to get monies back for. So.
I know in conversation very briefly with Under Sheriff Childs, from my understanding, so from a private insurance booked individual, as long as their private insurance is still active, they could potentially move forward with billing for any services, medical, health related in jail. This specifically focuses on those federal health benefits.
Okay, and people that are already on Medicare.
Correct, and we know that such a large percentage of individuals currently incarcerated make up a large percentage of those federally covered medical benefits.
Sure. All right, well, thank you. Thank you. Just something maybe we should just, you know, have on the table.
Sure.
Any other questions? That being said, the motion on the table is to recommend to the board. Would you please approve that vote?
The company that audited county jail. Okay, yeah, good resolution.
Jackson?
Yes.
Sure you have 7 days, all right.
What a perfect meeting. Moving on, public comment number 2. Anyone from the public wishing to address us on any topic, please come to the head of the table. Seeing none, I will adjourn at 10 o'clock. Look at that.
Wow, yay.
That was a